I'm going to give you 5 steps, 5 things that you can do today that I promise you, give you my word. If you do these things and you don't experience more happiness, hit me up. We should talk. Because I promise you, if you do these 5 things, you will experience more happiness in your life. So that's a pretty big offer, wouldn't you say? So we're talking about 5 things that you can do to be happier in your life. And I will tell you right off the bat, number 1 for me is probably the most difficult. Gosh, my eye is like itching. I apologize. Number 1 right here, let go of the need for specific outcomes. Whew! I will tell you that the times in my life when I get the most frustrated is because I am really, really, really focused on a specific outcome. Technology is frustrating. Life is frustrating. Nothing goes as planned. What does it say? The best laid plans of mice and men. You just can't control anything. You can't control the future. You can't control anything, literally anything. There's only one thing that you have, only one thing that you have that you can control, and that is your reaction. How you respond to the things around you. Hey, James, what's going on, brother? Thanks for hopping on, dude. Good to see you. I don't know that you ever hopped on one of my live feeds, man. Always good to see you. This first one here, let go of the need for specific outcomes. I can tell you that just last weekend I got real upset about something. The last time prior to that I got really upset was related to doing the Wine No Wine show, and I had a specific desire for an outcome. I had a specific desire for the way that I was hoping things would go. And it's in those moments where I would get the most frustrated and the most angry. Let me tell you, we have no control over anything. There's literally only one thing that we have control over. One. That is our response, our attitude, how we respond to the outcomes or the external influences, the external circumstances in our life. We have no control over anything at all on the outside, right? But we can control how we react to those situations. And hey, James said, first time you were here when it happened. Thanks for hopping on, man. I'm glad you hopped on, man. Appreciate it. I'm just talking about what it means to be happy in life. And sadly, only 1 in 3 Americans expresses that they are happy. And this is an area of my life. I try to teach only from a place of experience and only from a place of personal journey. A lot of times when I talk on a subject, I'm preaching to myself just as much as I am to the world around me, as reminders and that sort of thing. But this is a subject I've spent a lot of time in. And, you know, the first one and the last one, number 1 and number 5, are the 2 that I'm going to work on the most. And generally speaking, 90% of the time, I've went through crazy struggles, and even in the last couple, 2-3 years have been really wild. But 90% of the time, I wake up happy. I go through my day happy, and I want people to be able to experience that in life and to go through life experiencing happiness. So the first thing you can do is to let go of specific outcomes. Let go of specific outcomes. You have no control over the external stimuli, the external world around you. You have no control over that at all. And the sooner you realize that, the better off you will be. And the only thing you can master is the internal response that you have to those things around you, right? That's the only control you have, is your response. So that's the first thing. Number 2, define your own success and happiness. Whew! This is a big one. I will tell you that the rat race, everyone else's version of success, even everyone else's version of happiness, only you can define that for yourself. There's a quote from a guy named John Rushton. He said, be everything to everybody and you'll be nothing to yourself. You have to recognize that every decision has an opportunity cost. So saying yes to everything and everyone, trying to make everyone else happy, there's an opportunity cost involved. You literally only have 24 hours in your day. That's it. And no one on the planet has any more than 24 hours in a day. The most valuable asset anyone has is their time and what they're willing to trade it for. And so the very first video I did in this Live Your Mission, loveyourlife.com series that I've been generating was all about understanding what your mission is, what your calling is, what your purpose is. And I shared that, my mission statement for my life is 3 words: find, share, inspire. And the whole phrase goes, find the things that work, share the things that I find, inspire action towards greatness. And so my whole mission in life is summed up in that sentence. Everything that I do, whether it's these live feeds, whether it's the Wine No Wine show, whether it's how I post and the comments I get going on my page, my job, everything that I do in life is I can dial it into that single focus: find, share, inspire. And I'm about that all the time. And doing that is a great part of, being fulfilled in my life. And so when, if I looked at other people's version of what should make me happy and what should make me successful, if it's not in line with that mission statement, I know it's not going to work. And so I have to zone out of that, which is a perfect segue into the third one, which is commit 100% to the things that make you happy. These two, for me, go hand in hand. I kind of just got through talking about it in the sense that I know what my mission is. I know what my calling is. And once I commit to that 100%, future decisions are already made, right? When you're not 100% dialed in to what your mission is, what your calling is, when you haven't really committed to the things that make you happy, you're 98%. That means that you still have this constant thing going on in your head where future external influences may require a decision. Does that make sense? In other words, if I'm 100% in, I already know the answer to the question, so to speak. If it's not in line with what makes me happy, the answer is no. I mean, I guess I still have to decide, don't get me wrong. I have to, not decide, I have to determine. There's a difference. There we go. Better word. I have to determine if the external thing that's coming to me is in line with my mission, my happiness, the thing that I'm called to do, whatever you want to call it. I don't like to get hung up on words, but the thing that makes me happy and the thing that makes me content and filled with joy and all that sort of thing. I have to know what it is, and I have to be dialed into it, and I have to be 100% committed to doing those things, only those things that are consistent with it and fall in line with it, right? And so if you're not 100% committed, then you still have to decide. You still have to analyze information that comes in and make a decision on whether you want to do it or not. So anyway, be 100% committed to that which makes you happy. There's a great saying from Mahatma Gandhi on this one that he said, happiness is when what you think and what you say and what you do are in harmony. What you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. So your thoughts are in line with your words, which are in line with your actions. When those are all consistent and flowing together, you're happy. And that's he was saying the same thing where I'm like, I know what my mission is. I'm about doing that all the time. I think about it in all the different little ways that I act in my life. I'm always trying to bring those things into line with my mission. And if it's not, I can get rid of it. I can oust it. It's an easy decision. So that's number 3. Yeah. Number 4, I've done a whole video on this one. And I recommend watching it. Be grateful for what you already have. This is probably one of the, I don't know. I say it's easiest. I guess it's easy when you're doing it and you're used to practicing it. But to me, there's so much to be thankful for in life. And I guess, when people are really bitter and upset about life and the hand that life has dealt them, they're not in the habit of practicing it. And so consequently, it's not easy. So I shouldn't say it's the easiest. I guess it's easy for me. I've been doing it for a long time, and I think life is a really, really beautiful thing, and it's really, really easy to see the negative in life and get kind of bent out of shape about the world around us. And so practice gratitude from the moment you get up. If you have a hard time with it, I would say to start listing out the things. If you woke up in a bed, I mean, you can literally start from the moment you get up. If you woke up in a bed, plenty of people who don't have beds. If you woke up under a roof, plenty of people who don't have roofs. If you woke up healthy, plenty of people who don't have their health. If you woke up next to a spouse, plenty of people who don't have a spouse. If you woke up next to a hot spouse like me, plenty of people who don't have a hot spouse. Sorry, my wife is going to poke me on that one, I'm sure. Anyway, you get my point, is that you really can, from the moment you wake up, start working your way through all of the things that you have to be grateful for. And if you really dwell on them, and if you really spend time thinking about it, then you'll be surprised at how much you have to be grateful for. You'd be surprised at how much you have to be thankful for. I think that's probably one of the single biggest things that you can do to experience genuine happiness, is to be grateful. My attitude of gratitude determines my altitude. How high I go in life, how much happiness I have is directly connected to my attitude of thankfulness. And that's a big one. I really hope you can take that in and practice that. And then the last thing, and this is one where I said, I'm going to work on this more. Say I love you more. Say I love you more. That's one that I don't think we as people express enough. I read a story about a guy who told everyone around him all the time that he loved them. And he just radiated that. He just had that loving kind of a behavior, that kind of attitude about him, and that was genuine. And people just came to expect that of his nature, that he would just tell everybody that he loved them. And one day this person decided to ask him, why do you tell everyone that you love them? He goes, well, I noticed that when I started telling people I loved them, that I felt more love for them. I noticed that it changed them, but it changed me just as much. And so looking at the world around us, man, I think that's what we need more than anything. What the world needs now is love, right? Not a great singer. Anyway, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Love conquers all things. That's some powerful scripture. And so anyway, it was a good reminder of me, for me to dwell on this thought, say I love you more. And so I'm going to be focused on that one. Number 1 and number 5 for me. Those are going to be my go-tos. And so I want to wrap this up, roll through these 5 points really quickly for you again, and remind you to hop over to liveyourmissionloveyourlife.com and check out some of the t-shirts I have for sale over there. Got some new gym clothes up, so you can hopefully enjoy those. And check out some of the sayings that I have. You can get inspired and pick up a t-shirt. Remind yourself of the attitude that's expressed on the t-shirt every day while you're wearing it. And support the show and support sharing the message that I'm trying to put out there. All right, number 1, the first thing you can do to experience more happiness is let go of your need for specific outcomes. You do not control anything external to you. The only thing you can control is how you respond to it. That's number 1. Number 2, define your own success and happiness. Don't let the world tell you what is success. You determine what is success. You determine what happiness is. And it's really, you have to dwell on your inner self, your inner calling, your mission. I can help you with that if you're ever interested. But that's the number 2. So number 1 is let go of your need for specific outcomes. Number 2 is define your own success and happiness. Number 3, Be grateful for what you already have. I'm sorry I jumped ahead. Number 3, commit 100%. See, I forgot to put the numbers next to the deals here, so I'm getting lost in my outline. Commit 100% to things that make you happy. Once you know what makes you happy, commit 100%, not 98%. Commit 100%. Just decide that you are only going to focus on those things that make you happy and be about that 100%. And then it's a lot easier to see when things are coming from outside that don't fit or in line with the things that make you happy, that you can pair those things off and not spend your valuable time, the most important assets you have. Number 4, this one is such a huge one. I really think that if you practice this is probably the first, like, most definable, simple ones to put on paper. Not necessarily simple to do, but simple to put on paper and really start working on. Be grateful for what you already have. If you are spent all of your time chasing after everything else in life, you'll never appreciate what you really have already. And there's so much to be thankful for, so much to be blessed. Realize that you're blessed by. Practice an attitude of gratitude, and that will help determine your latitude. T-shirt on sale at liveyourmission.loveyourlife.com. And then the last thing is, say I love you more. Say I love you more. And boy, that's one that I need to work on myself. And that's a great conviction. Tell your friends, tell your family, and focus on, tell one person a day that you love them, and try switching it up to different people each day. That's going to be something I'm going to do. And I'm not going to alternate between my wife and kids. I'm going to try to change that up just to include more friends and more family outside of my immediate family. Say I love you more. All right, guys, that's it. There's my 5 steps for experiencing more happiness in your life. I hope you have been blessed by that, and love you guys. Thanks for tuning in and being a part of my life. I'll see you next week.